All right, we're back on tape, and it is 13:54. In regards to this conversation, no explanation other than it was a lie.
Completely untrue. Like, my prescription was for me and my medical necessity.
Okay, and you never gave that pill to Casey?
No, sir, not.
And did you ever give it to anyone? Did you ever give Xanax pills from your prescription to anyone else?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know if any of these people ever gave it to Casey?
No.
So this couldn't have been, hey, I could hit up Annie, but in truth, she'd be calling someone else to ask you to give it.
Yeah, one person, one time, and that was it. And I saw them take it.
Who was that? Not a hard question.
Answer every question.
It's Sean Daly.
Okay. I'm not here to jam jam Sean up.
And I'm nervous, so.
And that's okay. I'm not here to make you nervous. I understand the environment may make you nervous.
Yeah.
But so going back to drug use, as far as you know, you don't know of any drugs that Casey would have taken. And I focused it on the times between 06 and 07 when you were best friends. Now, I'm going to make this overall. In the time that you've known her, you're tearing up here.
I am.
What's the matter?
I'm just nervous.
There's no need to be nervous, Annie. We're not here to get anyone into trouble, okay? We're just here to get the truth. All right?
I have some Kleenex for you.
You need a couple of moments? Need a minute or two?
Anyone have Kleenex?
Okay.
This is hard for me to understand.
It's been hard for a lot of people that were Casey's friends. Because a lot of people are just like you that have a different impression of what she was like. And, I've talked to several people that said she was a good mother. But
she was.
Unfortunately, all these people also said something changed. And that's what we're trying to kind of pinpoint down. We're trying to figure out what changed. We're not trying to pass blame on another person. We're not trying to say that.
Thank you.
We're not trying to say that Annie did something to make Casey bad or Annie did something to hurt this child. We're not saying that at all. But there are a lot of unanswered questions that we're just trying to get answers to, and that's all we're here for. So, do you know of any... Had Casey confided in you or told you anything about drug use or experimenting since you guys ended up becoming best friends? Like in the whole time that you've known her, up until today, ever any mention to you about?
She never was really into that. Like I said, whenever we went out, she would rarely drink to get drunk. We'd go out, she'd have a beer, because she most of the time drive. Mm-hmm. She'd have to be home because of Kaylee. Not to my knowledge did she ever... She just wasn't into it.
Do you know of any of her family members that may have had a problem with it?
Not that I know of, no, sir. I don't... Not that I can think of.
Can I ask some additional on a statement you just made? If you went out, she wouldn't drink very much because she'd have to be home because of the baby.
Yes, sir.
Did you have any knowledge of phone calls that Cindy would make to her while you were out, or was there any?
It happened frequently. Cindy would call frequently. Okay. What time are you going to be home? Why are you out so late?
Okay. So
because
what was her general attitude towards that?
Most of the time, apparently, she lied to her mom all the time, saying, I'm at work, I'm at work, I'm at work, when she was out. I found that out later. She was always saying that she was at work. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And her mom would just call, where are you? When are you going to be home? When are you going to be home? I want to go to bed. She wanted her home to take care of her own daughter.
And you witnessed this how many times do you think? Or was it just so commonplace?
It was her mom would call almost every single time we were out to yell at her for one thing or another or to see where she was at.
So what do you mean to yell? I'm sorry.
I know a lot of the truth now. Like, for instance, when I graduated from UCF, Casey was going with me to my graduation. And on my way to graduation, Casey's mom called and said, you need to get home now. And so she had a conversation with her mother. She said she had to leave. And Casey told me, my mom was mad at me because I didn't register for Valencia classes. When I found out later from her mother that it was really because they found a credit card statement where Casey spent a lot of their money. So
What date was that on? Do you remember?
August 07. I don't know the exact date, but it was, yeah, because I graduated 4 years after I graduated high school, so August of 07. It was definitely in the summer.
Did Casey ever talk about that
Stealing money?
at the time to you?
No, absolutely
Something
not.
you learned after the fact?
I had no clue.
When did you find this out then?
Right after Kaylee went missing, we would have conversations with her parents, and that's when I found out a lot about Casey that I didn't
After
know.
Kayla went missing or after Casey went to jail?
After it
'Cause
was
it's a
went
30
public,
days, okay.
after July 16th,
Okay.
shortly after July 16th.
So to solidify the event from August there, 2007, did she actually have to turn around and leave your graduation and go home?
She rode with me. Her ex-boyfriend, Jesse Grund, came and picked her up and brought her home. Because I obviously had to go to graduation.
So she was upset about that.
Mm-hmm.
So her social life was obviously, it was a burden to have to turn around and go home all the time because of the...
That was the only time that she was ever with me doing something when she had to stop what she was doing and go home. That's the only time I can remember that that's ever happened.
But you witnessed other phone calls where you would go out.
And her mom would just ask, where are you, where are you?
And that was how often?
Honestly, I think it happened probably every time we went out.
Every time.
Every time we went out. Her mom would
And-
call at least once.
And given the fact that you guys didn't go out very much anyway, you might go shopping or you didn't party very much.
The times we would go out at night, her mother would go. Which I say she went out with us maybe once a month, whether it was a house party or we went downtown. Maybe once a month.
How would you describe her relationship with her mother?
Again, something that I thought was a different relationship. Casey made it seem like her mother was this horrible person and that she's trying to control her life and take Kaylee away from her and wanted Kaylee to call Cindy mom instead of grandmom. And from Cindy, it wasn't like that.
So you were hearing that first part, you just told me that was what Casey was telling you.
That's what Casey would tell me.
Yeah.
When?
All the time. I mean, she's her mom always. Like, I remember at Kaylee's second birthday party, we were all sitting down opening presents, and Cindy was helping, and Casey was getting so upset. This is my daughter, and my mom's trying to take her, trying to take my job out of it. Cindy was trying to play mom instead of letting Casey play mom.
And this
Or
was
be mom.
in front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very obvious to everyone that was there, maybe uncomfortable even, that they were arguing about that? Or?
No, she wasn't arguing about it. Casey just pulled me aside and was
Okay.
like, I'm so upset, my mom's doing this, my mom's doing that, and she was just upset by it. I mean, it was her daughter's second birthday.
Casey tell you anything about her mother?
I'm sorry, what was that first part?
Did Casey ever tell you anything about Cindy, her mother, telling Casey that she was a bad mother, she was an unfit mother, that she was going to take Kaylee away because of that? Or take custody of Kaylee, threatened to take custody of Kaylee?
Not that I can remember. I don't think that,
Casey never made a mention of that to you?
not that I can think of, no, sir.
When you guys were best friends back in 06, 07, where was Casey working? Where did she tell you she was working?
She told me she was working at Sports Authority first,
Mhm.
then at Universal. She was an event planner at Universal after Sports Authority.
And then event planner. Did you ever go to her work or see her office? And so from when would you say she started as a event planner at Universal?
I really don't recall.
You guys were still best friends?
Yeah, we were still very good friends at that time.
So at least up until March of 07. Sometime before March of 07, she told you she worked for Universal as an event
Yes,
planner.
yes, sir.
Okay. And did that ever change after 07? Did she ever tell you anything different?
Not that I can think of, no, sir.
Did she ever tell you about her college classes and what classes she was enrolled in?
Like I said to you, when we went to my college graduation, her mom was upset with. She said her mom was upset with her because she didn't enroll for college classes. Come to find out, she didn't have a high school diploma. I didn't know that.
What did she tell you after the fact that she was going to classes? Did she ever tell you how hard it was going to
She
school?
told me
or
she was
college?
planning on going.
Mhm.
Again, there was, I would say since, it's 09 now, 08, 07, since like October, November of 07, we were just acquaintances, not friends like we were before at all.